Oh, it doesn't look as weird as I thought it was going to. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Rage Cage 20 here. We are back with In This Moment's Black Widow album. We have today Into the Darkness, and I don't know yet if it's just going to be Into the Darkness. From the lyrics, it looks like it's like an interlude, but it's a 3-minute. It's a 3-minute video, so it could very easily be a full song. It just depends if it's all kind of just spoken. If it's all just spoken word with a little bit of instrumentation in there, I'll probably add Out of Hell into this one as well. If not, it might just be just this one. Well, I mean, you probably already know because it says up in the title of this video, but I don't know yet, so we'll find out together. I mean, you already found out. So before we start this video, before we get into the darkness, which I actually think I'm going to like, because just looking at the back and forth, well, I did mention at the end of the last video, if you caught that it is kind of the same topic that she's been going over again and again and again and again and again. I don't know. It says Into the Darkness, and it seems dark. I think it's like we're leaning into the darkness here, behind just the hateful shit that people say to each other. I don't know, through insecurities of their own or whatnot, they feel like they have to lash out at others to make themselves feel better or something like that. I don't know. So that kind of intrigues me. I kind of like that, but also we're gonna take this in a new direction. Because I've kind of scanned over the lyrics of the next 4 songs, the last 4 songs here, including the bonus track. And I think these next 2 are going to be a little bit more of the same. The last 2 actually look like they're going to be pretty good, pretty interesting. So I'm going to look at this from a new light. I'm going to look at this from a new angle, and I'm going to try to do what I should do, but I'm human, so I make mistakes. You know, I ain't perfect. That's for damn sure. Anyone who watches me knows that. And I'm going to try to isolate this song from the rest of the album. I'm gonna, even if it's the same exact topic that we've heard many times now, even, I'm just gonna look at the song itself, isolated from the fact that it's In This Moment, and what they've created before this song, and how awesome those have been compared to this one. We're gonna try not to do that. Not think about, oh, this is kind of repetitive or whatnot. I'm just going to try to focus on what does this song do, and I'm going to try to keep that mentality for the rest of this album that I'll hopefully be finishing up today. So let's keep that positivity in mind. We're gonna get into this, Into the Darkness. It seems pretty fucking dark, so I'm pretty excited for it, and yeah, let's do this shit.
I am beautiful.
I hate you.
I love you.
How can you even love yourself?
I am worthy.
You disgust me.
I am pure.
Where do you go now?
Please don't go.
You'll burn in hell.
I will find immortality.
There is no God.
God is inside of me.
No wonder your father left you.
He should have protected me.
Just take it closer.
I will not.
You're a whore.
I forgive you.
All right. So definitely that's an interlude for sure. Um, but then again, that kind of really plays off of what is the definition of a song. Um, so some might consider that a full-fledged song, and just kind of an art piece, in a way. Okay. Well, let's look at that for a second. I mean, I'm gonna go into Out of Hell here. Uh, After this, but okay, let's take a look here. I did not expect the male voice to be kind of that really glassy, thin, translucent, to have that effect on it. I thought it was just gonna be straight up just dude talking, just like I am now. So that was interesting. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Just kind of wondering. I'm trying to think of what effect that's trying to create. Kind of like maybe that it's more like I kind of picture someone like standing behind you, like just kind of whispering into your ear, or maybe it's like the voices in your head kind of thing. Maybe it's like it was going for that kind of angle, for sure. Which we've already kind of explored that a little bit in Big Bad Wolf, which is so fucking cool just for that reason alone. Just this is, being controlled by this voice in your head, that just kind of is always down on you and is like taking control of your thoughts and your emotions and whatnot. Just kind of being your own worst enemy in a sense. So that's kind of cool. And then of course Maria responding in from a very honest place, honest, emotional, just actually, I mean, I'm assuming this is a conversation she's either had with herself or another individual at some point, and she was recreating it while also feeling it honestly, would be my guess. I don't know personally, I haven't done research, and I do not know Maria personally, but that's my guess. As for the end, again, just like I was saying, I think it was in The Fighter, but I can't remember. It was in one of those, one of the last couple ones we listened to. That's why the Blood Legion is my favorite in this moment song. Is just kind of the honesty and the emotion in it, but also I loved what they did at the end. That was kind of a lot like the famous reaction video from Korn, Daddy, which is a very fucked up song. And it's okay, but I think it's more the shock value of the subject matter that brings everyone to it. But just the kind of and for this one, I don't think it was because this isn't necessarily a song per se, so I don't think she was like singing and then just to start having a real reaction moment to the to what she was singing, and then the whoever was recording was like, no, keep going. Don't you end that recording. You keep going. I think this was more of her being like, just hit record, and I'm just going to be real. I'm just gonna have a real reaction. I'm probably gonna cry. Just don't stop. I think it was intended to have that extra part at the end there. I think that was planned to be in there, not like, wait, don't stop the recording yet. Like, let this play out. We're gonna have this in the song. But I think she knew that she could get herself to that place, into that moment. As for, I feel like this is a double-edged sword, kind of thing here, kind of message. Because one end, I see the good. I see the good in this. Because there's a lot of people who listen to this, watch this, hear this, and be like, do you not see how your words affect people? Do you not see how what we say to each other causes this reaction? We need to stop this. But on the other hand, I feel like it's feeding and fueling those who are saying this. Like, yes, I want to hear you cry. Like, this is what you deserve. You get what you get. So I feel like, I don't know if it's intended to be like, as this is what you do to me, please stop. But at the same time, I feel like it's giving those who's been saying these hurtful things, like, just fuel to the fire. Just like, yes, like, we got her to this moment. Haha, what we're saying is getting to you. But then again, there's also the thought process that came to me of like, well, those who are going to hate are always going to hate no matter what you say. So this isn't for them. You know, like, sure, you got to hear me cry. Congratulations. I hope that makes you happy. But this isn't for you. This is just for those who actually aren't fucking pieces of shit. And who aren't hurting others. To just kind of show, like, this is how words affect people. Let's not be like this and try and make the world a better place. Interesting. Intriguing. Very cool. Very cool. I like this. I like this little art piece here. This is really cool. Interlude / song kind of thing. Let's I'm gonna cut real fast and open back up here with Out of Hell. Let's here we go. Out of Hell. Gonna jump right into it. Ooh, you know I love that piano. That beautiful piano intro.
She's only 16. She has dreams of a girl. She thought she'd be in love. She thought she'd have the white picket fence. Now she stands on the corner. She sold herself to the streets. When the world gave up on her, she gave up on herself. She said, can anybody heal me? She said, does anybody care? As the monster pulls up slowly, he asks her how much she is. He's only 15. The world is passing him by.
Excellent.
His father killed his mother. And drugs took over his life. Now he sleeps on a corner. The streets become his home. The world gave up on him. He gave up on himself. He said, is anybody out there? Does anybody care? The hopelessness is rising. There's only so much one can bear. I said, you are not alone. I'm standing by your side. I'll walk with you through hell. I'll walk with you tonight. We are the forgotten, and nobody wants to face. Together we can rise. Let's climb out of hell. You're not forgotten. I'm standing by your side. Your struggle makes you beautiful. Out of hell we will climb. 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 Out of hell we will climb.
Okay. So you gotta let a song breathe. Definitely gotta let a song breathe, and there's still some silence that need to be had. For sure. Just to let it kind of settle. Okay. 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 Not what I expected at all, and in a good way, for sure. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. All right. For those of you all, those y'all. That sounds so country. It upsets me, but just y'all just sounds so easy to say. If any of you out there that's easily triggered and whatnot, if you got a lot of emotional strife that you've gone through in your life or whatnot, first off, if you're watching this, if you watching this analysis reaction of the song in general, and you knew about the song beforehand, I'm sure you're fine, or at least you wanted to have an emotional reaction. For those of you who just watched this for the first time, not knowing what you were about to walk into, I'm probably gonna say some stuff that's going to maybe enhance that emotion. I'm gonna get a little real here. So just so you know, if you're easily, um, uh, if your emotions pour out really easily and you don't want to cry, if you don't want to, uh, get really emotional and or upset, and move on. But if you're here and you want to cry with me, I'm here for you. Not in person, obviously, but through the power of the internet. Follow along, or if you just want to hear some shit, some real shit, stay tuned. Just gotta get that warning out there before I start talking, just because I don't want to make anyone cry if that's not what they're here to do, or if they're not okay with that. So, just letting you know. All right. That's running on the back. We're straight out the gate. I said it out loud. Their piano work, man, in these songs is top notch. It's beautiful shit. Like, I don't know who's playing the piano. I don't know if Maria can play the piano and it's her. That was a Lizzie. That was Elizabeth Mayhell. That I'm thinking of. That she started with piano, and I think her brother started with drums or something like that, or guitar. And then she started singing. I thought that might have been this group, but that's no. I suspect that the guitarist is her brother, but I don't think so. I don't know. It sounded like in an interview I watched that they mentioned that they were brother and sister, but then it's the fact that they have different last names. Again, I don't know if Brink is actually her last name, or if he kept like the father's last name and she went with her mother's last name. I don't know. I don't know much about this group, if I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Or they're just not related. The guitarist, I think it was the guitarist, and her are not related. I don't know. I could have totally misheard that in that interview. I don't know. So who knows? Anyways, yeah, I don't know who's playing the piano. Get back to what we were talking about here, but beautiful. To me, it just kind of sounded like soft raindrops. Just kind of thinking of being out in a city, and just the kind of sound of rain that you like people put on to fall asleep to. Just kind of soft raindrops falling. Just kind of serene, yet sad at the same time. You know, it's beautiful. Very, very beautiful. I really like the street sounds, like the police sirens going off, the people talking and yelling to each other. It's kind of the extra sound effects they added in there. I thought that was really cool. It added a nice touch to the song for sure. It kind of also reminded me of Les Mis a little bit. Kind of the I don't know any of the characters' names. I've seen the movie once, and that wasn't really my choice. You know, one of those kind of things. I was just technically on, and I was there, so I paid attention to parts of it, mostly the end. But it reminded me of, from the movies point of view, Anne Hathaway. His character, you know, loses her job, loses her. Does she lose her daughter? I think that's after she dies. She gives her daughter to him or something like that. I don't remember. Don't crucify me, Les Mis fans. Anyways, Anne Hathaway's character that becomes a prostitute and whatnot when she dies and she's singing her last song is what this kind of reminded me of a little bit, especially the first half. Just throwing it out there. Very emotional story, but we'll kind of get into that with the end stuff I have here. But here's where it kind of gets a little real here. I wrote down here that it reminds me of being a teacher and kind of being powerless to help. What you see on a daily basis. Not always daily basis, but we see quite consistently, like very consistently, actually, shockingly consistently. Because it's not necessarily my place to help. I wish it was, but there's only so much I can do as a teacher. Um, um, I would love to help these students, but it's not my way to force my way into the situation. Only if they open up to me and ask for help can I really do anything, and that fucking sucks. Because even just being a substitute, both as a student teacher and being a substitute teacher, students that have met me for the first time have just told me real shit, and some that I've gotten to know being in the same class multiple times with the same students, for teachers that like me and bring me back and whatnot. They students will just tell you real stuff. I've been told stories of there's this one student, I believe he had two fathers. And I believe he told me like one of them drinks and abuses him and stuff. It's like, okay, well I have to report this, and I do. Obviously, I'm a mandatory reporter, and I always let people know, like, before you tell me anything, if they don't catch me by surprise, like I do. If it's anything involving these subjects, I will have to tell someone else. So it's not 100% you tell me, it stays with me. Just to be fair, legally I have to tell people because that is my job. I've had another one that parents were in divorce, and she has to stay with her dad a lot of the time, and his dad wants nothing to do with her, just spends all his time talking to his new girlfriend and pretty much ignoring her and stuff, and how everyone has told her that just hang in there, it gets better, and she doesn't believe anyone anymore, and you hear some shit, man. You hear a lot of shit from students, and I'm sure that there's occasional student that's just making stuff up, but I'd say 8 to 9 times out of 10, it's pretty fucking sincere. Why students feel comfortable opening up to me, I don't know. Maybe it's just my beautiful, shining, happy personality. Just my caring, nurturing nature. I don't know. But I appreciate that they do. Like, I appreciate that people feel comfortable enough around me to tell me these things, and it means a lot to me. I mean, I even told her like there will be a point where things will get better, but if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, it's not gonna be for several years. It's not gonna be until you're old enough to move out, and you're going to have to get through it. And there's people here to try to help make things better, but in the end of the day, there's only so much we can do. So, you know, the latest one. This will just be the last example here. It's just kind of this hit, like leading these about these kind of teenage people going through this shit to where it seems like the world's just given up on them, and so therefore they've given up on themselves. Just it brings the teacher out of me because I see this shit all the time, and it just really makes me think that people just shouldn't be allowed to breed. And actually, my friend brought up a really good theory, because as I mentioned before, like, certain people just shouldn't breed, but then again, we probably would have, like, when we banned alcohol and stuff, we'd have like underground births and shit, and that would probably be more dangerous for dangerous for people giving birth. There'd be probably more deaths, more deformed problems in pregnancies and whatnot. But you said that everybody, when they're born, when they're a baby, should be sterilized. And once they can pass, once they're older, or once they decide they want to mate, have to pass some kind of test or whatever, maybe IQ test or anything, or just constant background checks and just like daily monitoring for like a year or two, and then they can have the sterilization reversed. I think that's a fantastic idea, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's already too late in this world. But the latest one I've heard, And of course, I don't ever name names because to protect these people who may not want to be. Wouldn't want these stories to come out. And this one just breaks my fucking heart because this girl is such a sweetheart, and she's so caring and just really nice person. I believe she's 17, and she just confided this in me. I didn't even ask. She just started telling me this, and I was just, oh, I feel so bad for her. But she just went into a story about how her mother was dating this dude who was her stepfather. I don't know if they were married or not. I don't care. Not important. That was forcing her to have sex with him, and she told her mother, or at least her mother got told by, I believe, the guy she was dating at the time. And her mother panicked, freaked out, took her kids and ran. And the dude was not happy about this. I'm sure he was a piece of shit and or in drugs. I do not know. And pretty much went to her mother's sister, so her aunt's house, threatened her at gunpoint to tell him where they were. Her aunt, being a very huge hero, did not. He shot her. Luckily, just grazed her, so she's still alive. But then went into the room and shot her aunt's, so her cousin, her aunt's two sons in the face, killed them both, and then killed himself. And so now I guess they're saying how she is damaged. I mean, being raped, and then after being raped, being kind of feeling like you're the cause for the deaths that happen to your close family, like, you know. And you can just tell it by the way, like, she told me that he shot her two cousins in the face, and then she laughed about it. And you can tell that laughter came from such, like, not like a extended laugh, just kind of a nervous laugh. And you could just tell that she's in therapy, thankfully, but she's fucked up. She's gonna be damaged for that forever, and it just kind of, the song brought that out of me, made me think about that and whatnot. And I think that this, I think that this was an amazing song, and I have that in here at one point for just, I think that's the next thing. Yeah, that is the next thing. It says really powerful message to kids, to young teens, that are going through shit like this, they're having these problems, having these struggles, and just kind of the message at the last stanza, just telling them, I mean, you're not alone. There's other people who are going through what you're going through, and together we can climb claw our way out of this hell that's kind of been created for us, like out of our control, has just been thrown onto us. Like, here, you get to have this in your life. And it's an insanely powerful message. It's extremely emotional. And she does exactly what I've mentioned before in past songs to kind of really drive home that the emotional side of this is that she just kind of speaks it. She kind of has that just kind of the speech pattern with that breathiness that it sounds like she's just about to cry. She's really good at controlling that, and also kind of had a hint of tonality. Like, you can tell that there was notes, even though it was kind of just very spoken. Just really to pump that extra emotion into it, and just kind of come from it. Just reads as coming from a place of realness, of not only compassion but honesty. And again, I don't know what happened in Maria's life. I should probably go look up more about her history. I really read into it. But I'm sure at least something in here does come from a place of honesty. I think she adds honesty into everything she sings, and it makes it sound so sincere. I was just replying to a comment about that the other day. And it's just like, I haven't found in this moment song that's not passionate, that doesn't have that emotion and energy and just honesty to it. And I think that Maria does a fantastic job with that, and I think that's a really powerful way to write music, and I think it's really effective, and I think she's doing a fantastic job. Let's see what I got here. Around 5 minutes in, the extra sung harmony in the background. We'll get a little clip of that here. Let's just remind ourselves because it's been a little bit we've been talking. Let's get it on. I'm just scrolling right now. I'll bring it up here in a second. I promise. Let's just remind ourselves of what that sounded like here.
You're not forgotten.
That voice.
I'm standing by your side. Your struggle makes you beautiful. Out of hell we will climb.
Yeah, that. It's. I think that was really intelligent. I think that was intelligent writing. To add that on there, because she could have just kept it the same way the whole way through, not add anything extra, and it would have been just fine. But I think adding that extra layer there, I said that it adds this kind of like angel-like, almost a lullaby to the song. Like I could see this song being really powerful and effective to fall asleep to, even. Just very soft, very kind of rhythmic, just lulling, lullaby-like song. Very soft sung. Then you got that angelic voice that just comes in and harmonizes, and just adds that extra layer of the vocalization to it, and it's beautiful. That's really good writing right there. That's all I got. How do you end the song off, really? That was, again, not what I expected, but I mean, again, that did not remind me of In This Moment, and I'm constantly amazed how within the same album they can go from, okay, this is what I'm expecting to hear, to like, is this still the same band? I think that's really cool. I think that's a really cool effect. I like that personally. I think that's really badass. I know a lot of people say this. And I know it can get kind of repetitive to hear, and at a point you don't really believe it. Sorry, I just had thoughts. Because, it's like everyone says it, and then you just kind of look at the person. It's just like, how like, do you even know what I'm going through? Like, yeah, sure, it's easy to say that, but if you haven't been through what I've been through, if you're not in that same world as me, like, you're just talking. You're just saying this shit that everyone says, like, oh, my thoughts and prayers are with you, like, that same repetitive shit that's like, no, you're not. But honestly, I'm gonna, we're being real here. Let's be fucking real. I do not know, from a personal level, through gone through it myself level, what you're going through. I don't. I absolutely don't. But I can say, as an educator, as someone who honestly, it is my job not only to teach children, to try to help make people more educated and or intelligent, but I like to think that that's like 60% of my job. I honestly like to think the other almost half of my job is to protect children, to protect students, so both young adults and adolescents. just to give them not only a safe environment, but just a place where they can be without the pain and misery that they have to deal with on a daily basis. Coming from a place where I take my job very seriously, and I've seen so much. I've seen so much bad in this world, just purely through our youth, and youth being bad, but just bad people having children and then mistreating them because they shouldn't have had children. I've seen so much of that, like a ridiculous amount. That as someone who cares for people in general, there are people out there. It may not seem like it, but there are people out there who care about you. I substitute at schools. I meet students constantly that I don't know. I've never met before, haven't had any interactions with you. And yet, if you came up to me and was like, hey, I'm having a crisis moment, I need someone to talk to, I'm there. I will listen to you, and I will help you in the best of my ability because I care. I care about you even though I don't know you. So, honestly, people say it all the time, but it is true. There are people out there that care about you. There are people that want to help you and will do whatever they can to try to make you feel better and have a safe environment, even if it's just momentarily. Because in the end, there's only so much we can do, really. I wish there was more that I could do, but if there's not enough evidence, I can't really get you taken away from your parents. And is that what you want in the end? Because that also causes damage to then become a foster child, or so it's a lose-lose situation, and there's only so much we can do. But you are cared for, you are loved, even if you don't think so. And just last example here. There was this girl in a 7th grade at the time. I think she's a junior now. I've been teaching her for a while. Actually, she's not in band anymore, so I don't actually teach her anymore. I don't know where she is, but anyways. Who didn't really get along with a whole lot. She was a really good player, but she didn't really want to be in band. I think she was kind of forced into it a little bit. And so just like to talk, like to interrupt, not take things seriously, which can be frustrating as a teacher for sure. But it wasn't just her; it was pretty much the whole class. It was a bad class. But she even came in one time during lunch, and I was just chilling, eating a sandwich. And she came in with like 2 or 3 other girls. And she's like, hey, like, one of my friends is really having a hard time right now. Can we just stay in here? I was like, yeah, man. Like, make yourself at home. And they just chilled out in the band room and stuff, and they were leaving. She just came in and she like kind of whispered, thank you. I was like, anytime, So you may feel like no one out there cares, but there's someone out there who cares. So just know that you're not alone, and find someone that can help you. So thank you so much for joining me. And I got real, but I told you it was going to get real. I gave you a warning. It's going to make listening to the other 2 songs interesting. I'm going to have to take a moment to get out of this headspace, for sure. But that was an interesting moment I was able to have, thanks to in this moment. That's the power of music. Is just to pull emotion out of you, whatever emotion it makes you feel. It's beautiful. Music's beautiful. It's wonderful. I will see you all.